to do, just jump in the queue. It's all up to you. So what you gonna do? All in the queue, it's all up to you. All in the queue, it's check out the view. All in the queue.
One thing for sure and two things for certain is I'm never going to hear you out if what I'm hearing is stupid. I'm not going to hear that. I'm not going to receive that. That's not my ministry. A lot of y'all sit and give too much of y'all time and effort to people who don't deserve it. Why would you be listening to somebody telling you that 2 + 2 is 92 when you know it's not? That is a waste of my time. It's not of the kingdom. It's not. And I would not subject myself to foolishness, okay? Because I don't like to consider myself to be foolish, so I don't want to sit with it. No, it ain't nothing we can do. We done talking. I'm done talking. I'm done listening as well. Yeah, so I don't know who needs to hear that. I hope it reaches you and I hope it touches your spirit. Stop entertaining foolishness. Because people will start seeing you as foolish or somebody to be played with. And I don't like to be played with. Go play Atari. Go play some spades. But don't play with me. All right, love you, bye. One thing for sure and two things for certain is I'm never going to hear you out if what I'm hearing is.
So what's up with y'all? Listen, I know it's late. I know that it is late or early, however you want to look at it. I don't know how you want to look at it. I know that I was live yesterday at a township meeting. I am sitting here doing some research for some future shows to bring you guys some updates, some news, some, I don't know how you might view it. Maybe some people are tired of hearing it. Maybe some people just don't want to deal with it anymore. But, I'm going to try to do my best. I'm working on some Harvey things to talk about. I think that is very important to talk about Harvey from the very beginning, or at least from the beginning of Chris Clark's administration, and talk about what happened and how we got to where we particularly are right now. I think, documenting these things and talking about these things are very important. And I want to do that. How are you guys doing? I was let me speak first, because tell you, when I get up and I be doing this research stuff, man, I'll be going down some serious rabbit holes. Okay. I'm down a rabbit hole tonight for a Dolton update. I want to, there were loads of comments, and thank you, by the way, for everyone that watched, liked or subscribed to any of the videos that, or lives that I do. It was a big response to the Dolton updates was a right video. So we are going to be continuing those videos. There was a big response to that, and someone asked me or suggested to me a few, things that we might need to, or that they wanted me to discuss. I'll put it that way. And so we're going to do that. Tonight, I wanted to pop in with a bit of a sneak peek for you about what we're going to be talking about, because, I'm sitting here doing research, right? As I'm doing research, I'm like, this is so freaking similar to to Stank that I need to talk this out with somebody. I really need to talk this out with somebody. So we're gonna get ready to talk about this, not in its in the entirety, but in a portion. Okay, so we're gonna talk about it in a portion, because I feel like it's important to show you what I'm working on and to begin to show you some things. So let me speak to everybody. Wyoming gal, my favorite gal. Good evening to you. Let's see. Solomon Brown. Hi, how are you? RC Gray, how are you? Ernesto, what's up? This feels, Ernesto says, hold on, Ernesto, I got to get to the other page now because Ernesto says, this feels like the Twilight Zone marinated in total smugness. Well, you know, we have arrived. We have arrived, but it's what we got to deal with. So, Letty East, did you see the Harvey Library Board meeting? I did see the Harvey. I have not seen the library board meeting in its entirety, so no. But I did hear about the face off. And so we are kind of, as I'm doing my research, I'm trying to work on several topics at once. We are going to go down this. We're going to start going down some rabbit holes. I don't know how y'all feel about doing it or listen to it. I hope that you don't bored. I hope that you are interested. Oh, hey, Pierce, how are you? I hope that you are interested to know, as I go on this journey, because I'm with you too, right? All that it has entailed. I'm on this journey with you as well. And, I have learned a lot of things, right? I have learned, to be more humble. I have learned to really inspect people for myself, not to take anyone else's word about another person, to do my own research about that person and people, and really assess the situation wholly and not individually, right? Because I'm think for me, as I'm learning with you all, I am looking at the way that I vote too, how I'm going to be voting going forward, who I'm going to be voting going forward. Um, and for me, people that I'm have to vote for that are on my ballot, I'm going to be very, very interested in who they surround themselves with, because I feel like association brings on assimilation. Whoever you associate yourself with is basically the character that you condone. And I don't know how you guys are starting to feel about that, but that's how I'm starting to feel about it. So I'm starting to get very concerned about um, whoever is running for office, businesses that they own, businesses that they are involved in, people that they are involved with, and all of those things, so that the entire picture of who I'm voting for is clear, right? While um, my friends may not define me, they do tell people who I am as a person, I feel like, because what you condone uh, in your life, to me, speaks to your character and who you are. Paris says, thank you, friend, for standing on business. Listen, I'm going to tell you when I'm wrong, and I'm going to tell you when I'm right. And I'm going to tell you when I don't know, and maybe we need to look at this a little further, right? So, that's why I wanted to start the series of Dolton updates with Was Tiffany Right? Because she said a lot of things when she was in office, as it relates to the people that were surrounding her. And she, made a lot of comments. Um, and I feel like people make comments mixed with a little bit of truth and a little bit of shade. What we have to do is really figure out what the truth and the shade, which is which, right? That's what we have to figure out. That's up to us to do. Um, Ernesto says these happenings are sickening because all that energy and efforts to get here and her crew out for this BS, and those three trustees are like mental patients, similar to mind control zombie trash. Well, you know, there's a lot I could say about that. I think it's unfortunate that um this is the route that they chose, right? I think that um it's unfortunate that um we are looking like we cannot lead or govern ourselves, that it's just going to be a whole bunch of confusion when we do. And that is why you have the Republican Party. And just like Jasmine Crockett said, let's be real. Most Black people are not Republicans because we understand that the Republican Party is full of racism. It is full of discrimination. And that's just not something that we're going to promote or accept. And so, I understand that. Um, and so, with that being said, the choices that we usually have here in Illinois are very slim. You are truly choosing between an evil and an evil. That is just the degree of evilness that you want to choose. That seems to be the running theme, at least here in Illinois. Um, and so, like I said, I was sitting here doing research to give you all another update, um, which I really want to continue that into a series, right? I want to do a series because, man, I have a wealth of information and updates to bring to you as it relates to this Dalton saga, or really the Southland saga, because we're going to go from Dalton to Harvey to Riverdale, because I'm also sitting here debating if I want to go to the Riverdale meeting tomorrow. They did call a special board meeting. If you all have not seen it, um, the mayor that they elected this year, Mayor Larry Jackson, he had been indicted since 2017, I believe. Um, and we can probably get into that story if you guys are interested. You'll have to let me know on this video what's up to all the replay people. You'll have to let me know on this video if this is something that you will be interested in discussing, is the Riverdale situation. But anyway, they have called a special meeting for tomorrow night to remove Mayor Jackson from the seat because he was found guilty and of a felony. And so he has to be removed from the seat. So they have called a special meeting to do that. With doing that, they will swear in an interim mayor. And then it looks like they already picked, which I'm so confused about. It looks like they already picked who the interim mayor is going to be. I would guess that they're going to choose the senior trustee or the senior alderperson. I think they trustees out there. The senior trustee on that board. That's maybe the ordinance that they have, and so they're going to go from swearing in the interim mayor to swearing in the trustee to replace the trustee that's going to take over mayor. Hey, Dave Bryson, how you doing? Um, and so they're going to be doing that tomorrow night, and I'm sitting here debating if I want to go and document that process and let you all see how that process is. Um, and so uh, we can talk about it if you are on the replay gang or even if you're here now. and that's a subject you want to cover, you want me to cover, then we can do that. All right. But I was sitting here doing research for my part two of the Dalton updates was Tiffany Wright. I think I like that title too. And listen, the first episode that we did covered Kiana Belcher and Rucker and Keith Freeman, and you all heard the letter, saw the letter. I read it to you that Keith Freeman wrote to the Attorney General's office. We saw that in that specific letter, um, Keith Freeman said that uh, Rucker installed um, electrical box at the now open cigar lounge in Dalton without any inspections, without anything. Um, and he was still in power. And they had proof from ComEd that this was going on. And ComEd was deciding if they wanted to move forward with charges. In that, we also found out that Kiana Belcher um, is also a registered agent with Rucker Holdings. So she works for Rucker. And we saw that, for me, that's a clear, conflict of interest, being a trustee in the village and also working for a business that is trying to obtain business license. If anything, I mean, you can work wherever you want, but if, it involves them getting some sort of business license where you are a politician, you should definitely recuse yourself and keep yourself out of the situation, just so that, that conflict of interest does not come into play. But through that letter, we found out that, um, that might be an issue. I can't speak to what's happening now, but that might be an issue. So um, someone left a comment on my video um, talking about the cigar lounge that Rucker had in Indiana. And we are going to go through all of that, but not tonight. The sneak peek exclusive that I wanted to talk to you about, because this blew my entire mind. So let's get into it right quick. I promise you, I'm not going to keep you on here long. 45 minutes an hour tops. But we need to look at this. Because as I said, I think it's going to become more and more important that we take a look at a more in-depth look at the people that we are voting for. And, for me, that means looking at who they associate themselves with and, business dealings and, all of those things. So let me share this. Um, and so when I began to do which one of these I want to do, I'll do this one and then I'll see what happens. So we're going to talk about what happened with the Rucker Lounge in Indiana, because somebody asked me to, and we should. We should talk about that. It rounds Kiana Belcher in this um, case that somebody asked me to look up, and I will talk about that on Friday. I should have this together by Friday. I said to myself, I feel like, and this man, Mr. Rucker, I'm not knocking him. First of all, anybody that knows me knows that Black-owned businesses, I love them. I support them. I do business with them. It doesn't mean that we get it right all the time, right? Because um, it's very hard to do business with some of these Black-owned businesses. I think because sometimes we lack professionalism and those type of things, and those that type of stuff. We just got to own it. Um, hey, Orly, are you still cool with Sherry from Dolton? Um, I wouldn't say that I'm not cool with her. Have I spoken to her in a while? No. No, because the commander of Doodoo said uh, that I was not welcome. And I don't go where I'm not welcome. And since they go on his platform, I'll take his word for it. And so, no, I haven't. It's not that I'm not cool with her. I'm not upset with her about anything, or, and I don't know if she's upset with me about anything. But I haven't spoken to her. Oh, you're welcome. I'm always gonna get an honest answer. It takes too much to lie. And I might not remember. So I don't even put myself in them positions. But anyway, eh, I said to myself, I said, I'm over here in Indiana. I'm looking up this particular case that involved um DeAndre Rucker, the cigar lounge that was in Indiana, which we're gonna go down a whole bunch of different rabbit holes with that. I said, let me find out, you know, if this man has any cases, himself in Indiana, right? Right. Because we're looking at the totality of the person, of the situation from public information that we can gather, right? Right. So I do that, and this is what I find. Okay. I find Brenda Mason Maintenance Cleaning Service LLC versus DeAndre Rucker. You see that this particular case is pending. We're going to come back to that because that right there is something that blew my mind, that I feel like your mind need to be blown and you need to be thinking about a lot of these things. Okay? Let's continue. This is the case. So then I scroll here. He got like speeding tickets and suspended license or whatever. So then I go to this case here. This Able Homes LLC versus DeAndre Rucker. Okay. Now, here's the thing that and it still says pending. It says pending. Still. And this case is from 2020. And so we're going to take a look at this one first. Okay? And the rest of the cases are, this one was dismissed. Still just like, speeding, traffic violations, and those things there. So, no red flags for me there because we've all had speeding infractions, right? I do believe so. And so we're gonna go to this ABL Homes. This one here. And the one thing that I do not understand, well, I guess I do understand it. I don't know if you've ever been to the Illinois lookup, right? When you go to the Illinois case lookup, you cannot get anything. You just got to sit there and look at what they put in there. You might not understand. You can't get any documents. You can't read it. You have to go all the way down to the courthouse, right? To print out documents. I had to go all the way down to the courthouse to print out these documents right here. This is Kamal's case against Thornton Township and, all of those people. Oh, you can't see it. Oh, shoot. Well, anyway, I had to go down to the courthouse to print that out, just to read the information that I wanted to read. That's the thing I find funny about Illinois. This is the only state that is not transparent when it comes to their court cases, which are public information. You can walk right into the courthouse and mark them. Go when you go in through security, you turn to the right and go to that room straight back, and you can go in there and get and look up any case you want. Okay, so when you go to Indiana's case lookup, look over here. They have the files right here that you can view. You can view everything with this case right here. We're getting ready to view the case opened as a new filing. We're getting ready to read the filing. So let me go to the filing. This is the filing for this particular case, ABL Homes LLC versus DeAndre Rucker. Okay, these are all the cases that came up under his name for Indiana. Okay, you got the disclaimer earlier. Let me play this disclaimer again because people be playing with you out here. People be playing. Just give me 1 second. All right, now let's go to this filing. But if you go to Indiana case lookup, that's simply what you can put into Google, and you can and go to the website where you look up. When you look up their stuff, they have everything there. Well, almost everything. And I will go back to that page so that you can view. I want, show you what happened. And there was something that I actually learned in this case, and I'm gonna read it to you what I learned. Okay. So let's look at the case filing. Let me make this bigger so that you all can view it. I want to make sure that you can see it. As I stated, as it showed you on the lookup page, this case is actually still active and pending from 2020, and we are in 2025. This is ABL Homes versus DeAndre Rucker. Now, let's read this. It says, affiant being first duly sworn on his oath states and claims against the defendant. The defendant in this case is who? Mr. Rucker. That he or she is the manager and owner of this entitled and is entitled to the immediate possession of the following described real estate. This is the address that they gave. I am not doxing anyone. This is public information. If you go look it up, it's going to show you this, and they put it in the public. It's on a government website. So let me see here. See, here you go. This is the property that we are talking about in this particular case. This property right here. Okay? It is this property with this red door right here. All right, now let's go back. It says defendant unlawfully keeps plaintiff, which is ABL Homes, out of possession of said real estate, and defendant unlawfully retains possession of said real estate. That at a minimum, the sum of $7,710 in rent plus late fees is past due and owing by the defendant to the plaintiff, which increases monthly. That defendant retains possession of said real estate unlawfully to the plaintiff's further damage in the amount to be determined. That defendant owed damages in the minimum amount of $7,710, interest at the statutory or contract rate, and attorney's fees, and a reasonable attorney fee is the sum not less than $200. Violation of lease, non-payment of rent, non-contractual interest in property. Wherefore, plaintiff prays for possession and order for hearing and all other property relief. Okay? This was entered in August 26, 2016. Ooh, but it says August 17th, 2020 is when it was signed by the judge. Okay? Who do this sound like? Who took possession? Who had a rental property that they changed the locks on and the landlord couldn't get in? And the landlord was windmilling for their life for their rent. Somebody put it in the chat. Who did that? Because who did sound like, right? When I read this, and allegedly, they all were friends at one time. All of them. All of them were okay at one time. Lil Stank, definitely. Huh? Because it matters who you around. We need to start looking at the totality of someone when we vote. We need to be very, very informed about who we are voting for. Okay? Because when I read this, I said, say what? That don't even make, huh? I know you lying, is what I said. Salute to you, SP. I'll have to catch the replay as I have to be. Do your thing, okay? The replay will be here. You have to come up on a subject matter that will have to become an investigative series. All right? Ernesto, be safe tomorrow. Have a great day, okay? Replay will be here for you. That's right, Orla. That's right. But remember what I said now. All of these people know each other. They all were cool at one point. Okay? And okay, so let's go back. Let's go back to the Indiana case summary page. Now, this right here, this says order issued, order of ejectment. And I was like, order of ejectment? What the heck is that? Right? So I went to look up what that meant. I need to know what that meant. What is order of ejectment? So when I went and looked up order of ejectment, I'm gonna tell you, I'm getting ready to read to you what an order of ejectment is. And you can Google this for yourself. You don't have to believe me, but you can Google it for yourself. This is what order of ejectment is. An order of ejectment is a court order that directs an unlawful occupant to vacate real property. It is a legal action to remove someone who is occupying a property without legal right. And it is distinct from eviction, which is used for tenants with a lease. Ejectment is used when there is no landlord-tenant relationship, such as with squatters or previous owners who remain after a foreclosure sale. So now, are you asking yourself what I'm asking myself? Let's see if ourselves is asking ourselves the same questions. What questions would you be asking yourself after you find out that this ABL Homes is asking for an order of ejectment? Well, actually, they was issued one. So they was issued one by Judge Deidre Monroe. They was issued one. Damn, let me put on my glasses so I can hear you better. That's so funny, Diana Reed. That's hilarious. So was you a squatter? Are you squatting in somebody's stuff and you don't want to leave? Who did that? Or did you sell the property and now you don't want to leave the property? So you're going to stay there? Listen, I'm asking these questions because we need to ask them. We need to ask them. We need to ask them because this person, Mr. Rucker, and I believe in Black-owned businesses. I believe in us succeeding, but I also believe in us doing it the right way. I also believe that we should do it in decency and in order. That we should follow all of the rules of this land, whatever they may be. Proper ownership, proper licensing, proper everything that go along with having a proper business. I believe in that. And as long as you do that, I feel like you should have as many businesses as you want. As many businesses as you want. I want you to be fruitful, multiply, and flourish. Because we need somebody that look like us for us to look up to. We need to have our own certified, bona fide, righteous billionaires and millionaires. We need them. We need them. But I got questions. I don't know if I can get no answers. Sounds like a fairy tale for around those parts. This person is now collecting a lot of businesses and opening a lot of property in the Dalton area. They now have the Melanie Fitness Center. They have the Cigar Lounge. They were at the Weekend Winery opening. I mean, these are questions that we need to ask. Who is coming into your community? And who brought them there? Okay. I mean, don't shoot the messenger. I'm just bringing the message. But whatever. Okay, let's go back since I read that and I was like, my God, let me call my friends. And so I got right on the line. I got right on the line with y'all and said, let me see what my friends think about this. I mean, I'm gonna just give them a little sneak peek about it, but I want to know what they think. So, okay, let me put this back up on the screen. So I looked at that and my eyeballs was like, is my eyeballs seeing what my eyeballs are seeing? Is that what we doing? But okay. So I went from there and I said, let me scroll back up because this can't be okay. Let me scroll back up. So what I did was I scrolled back up. Let's go back up. Because this right here, I don't even know if I should read this one to y'all yet because this right here, this case right here, this one says Brenda Mason Maintenance Cleaning Service, LLC versus DeAndre Rucker. Okay. Like I said, only Illinois do not give you the option to be able to read the files right here. You got to drive all the way down to the courthouse to even get and print and pay to print these things out to get this information. Every other state, well, I ain't going to say every other state, but most of the ones I'm looking in, you can just sit at home and be able to do this because it is public information. How they deliver that public information to you is up to them. For me, this is the way everybody should deliver it because why should I have to make a trip downtown or to the courthouse when you could just put it on the website because it's public information anyhow? Yeah, okay. So anyway, this right here, and look at all the files you can even access the subpoenas. Like this is amazing to me. This right here, really made me even more mad about corruption and who we put in the seats, because if we had access to a lot of these things like this at home as Illinois residents, we would vote different. We would vote lots. Boy, we would vote extremely different. And for me, this is how the political community, the politics of it all, this is how they get by. This is how they sneak into those seats, because you can't access these things in Illinois. But look at all of this. You can access. This is in Indiana. You can just go to their case, look up, and when you look it up, it's all right there. Now, let me see what time, how long we've been up here. 41 minutes. Now, there are 29 people up here. Please make sure that you like, share, subscribe, all of those things. Now, this is what I want you to do. This is what I want to know. If you want me to go into and read, you want me to read this case? We're not going to read. What I'll do is I'll start reading it. I have to, let me tell you where I have to get. I have to get to at least number 21. If you feel like you want me to start reading this case so that your eyes can be popping out of your head like mine were when I read this case, and you want me to keep going at least until I get to number 21 on this court case, you're please put a number 7. 7 is the number of completion in the Bible. Put a 7 in the chat if you want me to continue. If I get enough 7s, I'll continue. But you want me to, because I'll read to number 21, and then when I on Friday when we do the whole thing, then I will do the whole thing in its entirety. But we have to get to at least 21. I got 2 7s. We got 29 people on here. Even y'all people in the bushes. I know some people over here being nosy. Just for a FYI, don't come over here anymore, because I don't have time to address the nonsense right now. I'm helping the residents, and I don't have time. When I get time, I'll circle back, but right now I don't have it. So if you're watching because you want to report to somebody, like you working a job that you're not getting paid for, you can go ahead and sign off. I'm good with you not even listening. I'm good with just 2 people. If I have 2 people in this chat that want to hear it, then I'm gonna do it. But let me get 3 more 7s, and I'll go to 21. And so I'm telling you, you want me to read this. You want to know, baby. You want to know this. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put it on the screen. This right here kind of tied everything in for me, with some questions that I had about a few people during this time. It kind of like brought it full circle. For me, some of the questions that I had that people would not answer, and I kind of really got my answer when I read this. 2, 3. All right, I'll go with the 3 that I have, because I want you guys' time to be well spent tonight. So I'm going to read. I'm going to start reading. Just let me know that you all can see it. And I'm going to read to 21. All right. This is the state of Indiana. In the state of Indiana, the county of Lake. Mason Maintenance Cleaning Service, LLC. And Brenda Mason. Now, what I want you to take note of, hold on, let me go back. What I want you to take note of is that this case was filed in October of 2024. This is a current and active case that Mr. Rucker has going on right now. This is a current and active case. It was filed October 4th of 2024. The last movement on the case was actually a few days ago, November the 14th, 2025. There you have it right there in black and white. It says certificate of service separately filed. Look at it. They put all of the proof, their proof of service, their USPS, and their certified mail receipt. She uploaded all of it right there. And that's the last movement, November the 14th, 2025. Service was sent. Okay. So now let's go to this case. Mason Maintenance Cleaning Service, LLC, and Brenda Mason. That Brenda Mason is the owner of Mason Maintenance Cleaning Service versus DeAndre Rucker. Let's read the complaint. Comes now, plaintiffs, Mason Maintenance Cleaning Service, LLC, and Brenda Mason, by and through counsel, and for their complaint against DeAndre Rucker, allege and state the following. General allegations pertinent to all counts. Defendant DeAndre Rucker is listed as the president at the time of organization of Royalty Cleaning Services, LLC. Royalty Cleaning Services, LLC is a limited liability company registered in the state of Indiana with headquarters at 5148 Railroad Avenue, East Chicago, Indiana, 46312 in Lake County. I want to note here that this address was the address of the cigar lounge. If you look it up and Google it, it was the address of the cigar lounge in Indiana. Defendant Andre Rucker is listed as CEO at the time of organization of Royalty King Cleaners, LLC. Royalty King Cleaners, LLC is a limited liability company registered in the state of Indiana with headquarters at 5148 Railroad Avenue, East Chicago, Indiana, 46312 in Lake County. Defendant DeAndre Rucker is listed as the president of Rucker Holding, Inc. Please take note of all of these businesses that they are listing with him as the president. We are 2 so far. Royalty King Cleaners, LLC, and Rucker Holding. Rucker Holding, Inc. is a foreign for-profit corporation registered in the state of Indiana with headquarters at 5148 Railroad Avenue, East Chicago, and 46312 in Lake County. Royalty King Holdings, LLC, is a limited liability company registered in the state of Indiana, and it gives the address again. Defendant DeAndre Rucker is listed as the incorporator or registered agent for 16 other business entities also headquartered at this one address. 16. Brenda Mason is a citizen of the state of Indiana and lives in Lake County, Indiana. Mason owns Mason Maintenance Cleaning Services, LLC. Mason Maintenance Cleaning Service is a limited liability company registered in the state of Indiana with headquarters in Lake County, Indiana. Upon information and belief, DeAndre Rucker was contracted with the state of Indiana to provide cleaning services for the Ernie Pyle Plaza and Gene S. Porter Plaza in Ho, Indiana. I want to note here that this is what you do. You create, allegedly, you could create a shell business that would be your cleaning business in name only. And then you go out and you get business for that cleaning business and you contract a real cleaning business to do the work you were contracted to do. Huh? Sound a little fishy to me. That's a little sticky. That's some sticky business. But allegedly, that's what you can do. You could do, right? I could get a super producer cleaning services. I go out here, I fill out RFPs for these government contracts. I say I have a cleaning business. I give you my Secretary of State business license registered. I give you, all of my business papers. And then you award me the contract. I subcontract somebody who actually has employees and they work in cleaning business to do the contract you gave me. As long as there's no clause in the government contract that says I cannot subcontract, then I can do whatever I want to get the work done. Huh? I digress. Let me continue. Mason agreed to provide cleaning services for the Ernie Powell Plaza and the Gene S. Porter Plaza in Hull, Indiana, as a subcontractor. In consideration, DeAndre Rucker, through his businesses, was to pay Mason the sum of $45,000 each month. Let me tell you, the way your tax money be getting wasted is crazy. $45,000 a month to clean two buildings. Two buildings. The Ernie Powell Plaza and Gene S. Porter Plaza in Hull, Indiana. I don't know how big these buildings are. I never look. I don't know what all the contract entails. But baby, $45,000 a month. Let that sink in. Think about Illinois and all of the things that be going. If that's going on in Indiana and they getting paid that, baby, you can start to understand and unpack why your taxes might be crazy the way they are right now. Huh? Anyway, I'm still stuck on the $45,000 a month. Child. DeAndre Rucker consistently signed on behalf the above businesses in transactions with Mason. So for me, what she is saying is that he signed on behalf of the above businesses, the 16 businesses or whatever, in transaction with Mason. So she may have gotten a check 1 month from this business for the cleaning. She may have gotten a check from another business he listed for the cleaning. He the president of all of them, so the money came from somewhere, but it came from him. So maybe we good. Okay. Listen, Dave, I'm in the wrong business. I need to get me a cleaning business, LLC business, go out here and get me some government contracts and baby, put somebody else to work. Because if she was getting $45,000 a month, what was he making? What was the entire contract? How much was that? Huh? How much was the entire contract? Because if we're talking about he's working as a staffing agency, right? You know, when you work for a staffing agency, they may pay you $15, but the staffing agency actually getting $25 for you to be there. So they pocketing the rest and you just getting your $15 an hour. Child, Lord have mercy. Anyway, I said I got to get to 21. Let's go. Both Mason and Mason Maintenance Cleaning Service, LLC, DBA, Mason Professional Cleaning Services, herein collectively referred to as Mason, contracted with DeAndre Rucker beginning on November 21st, 2021. And she has an exhibit. She has the services agreement that they entered into, I'm sure, with his signature, because this says Exhibit 1. So that has been entered. This contract was originally set to expire May 21st of 2022, but was renewed on a month-to-month basis through August of 2022 by novation and mutual agreement of the parties. On April 16th, 2024, Mason received a favorable judgment against Royalty King Cleaning Services, LLC, Royalty King Holdings, LLC, Royalty King Cleaners, LLC, and Rucker Holding Incorporated. Then they got the exhibit for all of that, in which it is stated the aforenamed entities are liable to Mason in the amount of $113,000. So you have a judgment against you for $113,000. You just opened up a cigar lounge, a weekend winery. You now have possession of the Melanie Fitness Center, and this all is in Dolton. I'm going to continue to read. This judgment has yet to be paid. We are in 2025. Judgment was given April 16th, 2024. Order granting summary judgment. So she supplied Exhibit 2 is the order granting her judgment. Plaintiffs have since learned DeAndre Rucker is using his numerous businesses that have similar names, the same corporate officers, similar business purposes, and the same registered headquarters to ensure that third parties like Brenda Mason have no way of knowing which entity they are truly contracting with. Allegedly, that sounds, never mind. Sit with it for a few minutes and you'll understand what it sounds like too. We are now at number 21. Upon information and belief, DeAndre Rucker intermingled funds with and between his businesses to render them indistinguishable from one another and himself. Who intermingled funds in Dolton? Child, I digress. Do y'all want to know more like I wanted to know more, or y'all don't care about it? Let me know in these comments. Let me know what y'all care about. Because if y'all don't care about it, I'm not going to do the live. Tomorrow I'm going to go to Riverdale and let you all see what that process is like. I know that's right, Orla. And let you all see what that looks like. I'm probably going to end up going there. I need to make sure and see what time that is. Okay, Diane Reeves. Okay, honey. What I need you to do is sit with number 20. Rewind this video back and go from 20 and think in your mind. Matter of fact, ask Chat GPT what 20 means, what it could imply. Ask Chat GPT that. Okay? When you present on Friday show pictures of each plaza, just add to the story. I will. Like today was just a quick, exclusive. You, Diane Reeves, I'm going to bring it full circle for you. Okay? I'm going to make sure you have the total and complete picture. Because And I want to say this. I want to let you know this too. This will be the last. You want to know more Wyoming gal? Child, so do I. That's why I be going down these rabbit holes, child. Cause I be like, child, real life is better than fiction. That's what I be thinking in my mind when I be reading some of this stuff late at night. And I was up, so I'm like, let me see who else is up. Okay, but yeah, I'm going, that's why, doing this, and thank everybody that watches my videos, that like, share, subscribe. I'm not out here doing anything that people would super chat for or talking salacious about anybody. I'm just trying to give the facts to the residents. And that gets less respect than drama and mess. And I get it. But it takes a lot to do this research and this work that I be doing because I be up late nights like this. I probably won't even get to bed till probably about 3 a.m., child, because I got to finish this. I got to see. I got to run on and see what the end gonna be. I done read the end of that. Y'all wait till y'all hear the end of that. But he has a judgment that was given April 16th, 2024 for $113,000 for non-payment. I don't know, y'all. I, I don't know. I care about who coming into my community, doing business because ultimately the people of that town, whole Indiana, they are going to suffer, due to that issue because I don't know what might happen, right? If she can't get any recourse and she doesn't get her money from Mr. Rucker and he had the contract with the government, she's going to eventually go after the village because she's going to say, did you pay him? Did you pay him? Because I did the work and he did not give me my money. And she had a contract to prove it. Very interesting who people are moving out here with and how people are moving. But I will show these plazas. I will get all that information looked up for you guys. Honestly, it's concerning that the town is covering cost of maintenance on the Melanie Fitness Center. Now, we don't actually know what the particulars of that contract is because we haven't seen it. In my opinion, there should have been several hearings in front of the public about the Melanie Fitness Center, about Mr. Rucker, or about any of the RFPs. We don't even know if there was other people who could have taken over the Melanie Fitness Center because none was presented. Here is my other question, right? Let's look at some other things that we're gonna look at. What happened to Evan Seiden? Evan Seiden is the man who owns this big piece of land in Dolton that butts up to Riverdale. He was the man who came and wanted to build affordable townhomes and homes with he had storage units there, but the residents told them they didn't want storage units, that they wanted restaurants and shopping and stuff like that. What happened to him? That would have been a huge tax base for the village of Dolton. Where is he? Why haven't we heard any updates on what's going on with that piece of property or what's going to be built there? He came and gave a presentation twice. He came once to tea with the trustees, and then he came the second time in a board meeting. Or lie? We'll talk about it on Friday. What happened to Safety Clean? Safety Clean wanted to do an expansion in Dolton. Not that I agree with that. Now, this is just my opinion. These are my opinions. Safety Clean, first of all, um, is a very useful resource, right? I used to work for my trash authority in the state that I'm from. Um, and we utilize Safety Clean because they were in the city that I worked in. Safety Clean was made to set up days where they would take toxic waste or toxic items, chemicals from the residents for free. So it was like at the facility I worked at, every Monday and I think it was Wednesday, um, the residents could come to the facility and drop off paints, aerosols, um, batteries, computers, any type of toxic waste that they didn't want them to put in their trash, they could bring to Safety Clean and they safely dispose of those things if you don't know. For me, what is Safety Clean doing for the village of Dolton? They they are have a business in the village of Dolton where they deal with toxic waste and all of these things. When is the last time Dolton has received a report from Safety Clean about contamination? Have they done any soil testing in the village of Dolton to make sure that they are not leaking chemicals into the groundwater in Dolton? These are things in the state of Virginia that Safety Clean was made to do. And they had to make these reports public to the community every month or every 3 months or so, whatever they, the city dictated that they had to do. But these reports were available to the residents on their website and on the city's website for them to view. That's the first thing. Is that being done? Is there transparency with this Safety Clean? This is Belcher's supervisor, correct? I remember Tiff making a comment about her supervisor. Yes, Solomon Brown. Yes. Oh yeah, Tiffany told Belcher's employer that he would get his license if he fired Belcher. In all actuality, that was not true. Right now you know that it wasn't her keeping the permit from them. ComEd actually was trying to prosecute because they were stealing electricity, because they if you watch the video and the letter that Keith Price wrote, he asked the building department why they had not issued his permit. The building department sent back the report that said he installed an injunction box and put electricity and was stealing electricity. He did not have permission to do that. Right? Keith Reba wrote in the letter that Belcher told him he better issue the permit. He said, I don't know anything about this. When he inquired of the building department why they didn't do it, that is what he was told. That they were waiting for ComEd, and ComEd has sent over proof of this being the situation. And ComEd was deciding if they were going to prosecute or if they were going, what they were going to do. So they were not. How would they issue a building permit when ComEd is saying this? Right? And they sent over the proof. And in all actuality, let's be real, as the mayor, she had every right to tell him that, because it's a conflict of interest. It is a clear conflict of interest. Tiff delayed giving him something. I remember him speaking. This is what they claim. Do you know that they lost that lawsuit? He had a lawsuit against Tiffany about that and lost. He lost. Go look it up. Oh, you can't. Matter of fact, I'll go to the courthouse and print out the stuff for y'all and I'll bring it back. He lost. He lost because of that situation that Keith Freeman, Keith Freeman wrote about in that letter that I read y'all. There's a violation. Stealing electricity. I can't issue you a permit if you put a box up without being inspected. ComEd found out you was stealing electricity, and now they finna have an issue. You about to put the village in the middle of something. I mean, now I'm gonna give her everything she owe. Y'all know I'm gonna give Lil Stank everything she owe, but the facts gonna be the facts every time. And at the same time, let's look at the conflict of interest. Let's look at the conflict of interest there. If she hadn't tried to intervene and push this business permit, this building permit through, because she's a trustee in their village. She can't be a part or involved in any part of that process. She can't be involved in advocating for him. She cannot be involved in the giving of the light. She cannot be involved in any part. There's a conflict of interest. You don't have to agree, but it is. He lost the case. He lost the case because that is not the reason why he was not issued the permit. The reason was the reason that Keith Freeman gave in that letter that he wrote to the Attorney General, saying that he felt bullied and that his job was in jeopardy. But ComEd had gave them proof and the building department proof, and they couldn't because it was might be getting ready to turn into some sort of litigation between Mr. Rucker and ComEd. Now, what would they look like issuing a building permit and a business license with that going on? I don't know. Get in these comments and tell me what you want to tell me. You want to go off on me and say I'm wrong, and then say that. I don't have no problem with it, but we're going to look at the facts. These are the facts. And realistically, what we thought might have been happening in this case, I'm going to say in this case only, might not be happening. What clip, Solomon Brown? What clip you want me to find? I'll look for it. Oh, the clip of her saying that? Okay. I'll try to look for it. Now, don't hate me if I don't, because tomorrow I want to go to Riverdale and try to document this process for you guys on what Riverdale is about to do. But whew, oh child, it's too much. I'm gonna let y'all sit with that for right now. If I'm able to collect all of the information, we're not going to be able to do this in all one setting. So I'm going to give you guys what I started on, and then we'll go through questions and things that we need to pull everything together. What other information that we might need to pull, whatever we need together. Okay? But right now, child, my brain is in overload with the thought process that I'm going through about what I need to be able to bring to you all next. Or, I have a live set up for Friday where we're going to go through the rest of this, and we're going to talk about what it means. We're going to talk about how are you all voting differently now? For all the residents of Illinois and all the residents of the Southland, How are you holding yourself accountable to vote differently? What is your voting gonna look like going forward now? What are you gonna do to do your due diligence? Solomon Brown, Rucker, speaking on what he spoke at the Cal meeting last month about taking over the Melanie Fitness Center. Like I said, nobody else spoke, and there hadn't been any hearings about it, and it was like it was a done deal. Said he was going to be opening Black Friday, so the residents didn't even really get a say about who or what was going to be owning the Melanie Fitness Center. I will say this. The comment was made, I think, by Kiana Belcher that the village could not afford to, I think, renovate the Melanie Fitness Center because something needed to be done with the pool. And I don't know what other work needed to be done in there. But it was said that the village could not afford to do it. But my question is, but the village could afford to buy the Pope's house. The residents will get a lot more use out of the Melody Fitness Center because it had been open previously, and the residents were really patronizing the Melody Fitness Center because I showed you guys their Facebook page. They literally have that Facebook page littered with photos of swim classes, Zumba classes, people using the workout equipment. I mean, all types of things they used to have in this building. And Solomon Brown, if you missed my video that says Dalton updates was Tiffany Wright, I think I play in that video, I play Rucker speaking at the Cal meeting about taking over the Melanie Fitness Center. I will have to go back through some of the old meetings if they're still up and see if I can find the one where he speaks at, I think he's angry at this one. But yeah, that's what I'm saying about that. That the village didn't have enough money to renovate Melanie Fitness Center, but they had enough money to buy the Pope's house. I mean, I'm just asking. I'd look as well. He spoke at one of the Dalton meetings like he was a victim. And did. And did. I mean, I don't want to say that the lie detector determined that was a lie, but that letter that Keith Freeman wrote to the Attorney General might have determined that allegedly. But I showed you the letter in black and white, and it came out of a FOI from Dalton. And we have a lot more other things to go over, and Dalton. I'm gonna get through this, and then we're gonna move to the next things that we need to address. We have a lot of them, and while I'm going to be mixing Harvey in there as well because we have a lot to address with Harvey as well. Belcher wanted to sell the Melanie Fitness Center. You woke me up. Solomon Brown, if you go watch that video that I did, that I think it's a couple of videos back, I just did it on Dalton Updates, was Tiffany Wright. You'll see I play the meeting where they discuss selling the Melanie Fitness Center and why they needed to sell it. But it's not being sold. It's being leased. So for me, let me bring this together about why I came on tonight, because this kind of brings it to me about why they allow him to take over the Melanie Fitness Center open up the Rucker Cigar Lounge, the Weekend Winery, all of these things in Dolton, all of these businesses, right? In Dolton that he's gonna be getting money from because we just read a court case where he owes somebody $113,000 and has not paid them. And that's my friend. I believe it was Lil Stank that made the comment. They don't want to do nothing but hire their friends. I'm gonna go find that soundbite because she definitely said that more than once. I do, and let's be clear here. I do not agree with anything that Lil Stank did. She definitely needed to go because she was becoming unruly. She was not thinking about the people. She was doing things for herself. Let's be clear. She was not the person that should have ever been mayor. No. So I'm not agreeing. I'm not on her side either. I'm on the side of the residents. I'm gonna say that again. This platform has always been for the residents and will continue to be for the residents. So I'm not on her side. She definitely needs to pay for it. I mean, this is for, I know that you guys cannot share this video in Down Politics because I was banned. For what reason? Because I ain't never got into no type of altercation or ever posted anything in there that was out of my character or against anybody. You're welcome, Solomon Brown. But now you should think in your mind why I was banned from there. Why should I still be banned? Because there is a concerted effort to control the narrative. We don't want to talk about anything negative. You don't want to talk about anything negative as it relates to what? Your friends? Yeah, as it relates to I mean, I'm so confused because there really isn't anything negative to talk about. We're gonna talk about the facts. I know you might not view them that way. You got banned because Llama. You know, Dave Bryson, that culminating with a lot of things. Okay. I'm not bought and paid for over here. That should tell you that. That should tell you that. That I'm not bought and paid for. I do not do what people tell me to do. I do not do what people send me to do. During the time of Tiffany, we all came together. We put out real information, truthful information. We got, the information directly from the people. That's what we did over here. I made sure I verified everything that I put out over here. And I will continue to do that. I will continue to do that. I'm not going to speak about something that I don't have proof for. So, and I'm not going to make any assumptions. I'm going to try to leave room, for the best case scenario because that's what I would rather things be. But to say that somebody is speaking negatively, no, we just speaking the truth. That's it. That's all. At least that's what I'm doing. Illinois, we getting ready to vote. Early voting begins in February. We are getting ready to vote. We need to be overly informed. We need to be overly informed about who we gonna vote for this time, or if we even gonna vote for anyone. Because I feel like I'm gonna go into them polls and I'm gonna be leaving a whole bunch of blank. Because, like I said, we usually have the evil and the evil to choose from. We just gotta pick which one is lesser, less evil. Which evil do you want to deal with? Somebody told me tonight, I'd rather deal with this person's evils versus this person's evil. Child, I don't want to deal with none of it. And I would rather not vote for none of it so that when I say I voted, I can say I voted, but I didn't vote for that. And this is the reason why good people don't want to get into politics, because it is a whole bunch of bull crap. It is a whole bunch of bull crap. The people that be out here trying to do the right thing never get elected because they're not slinging mud. They're not talking about people. They're not involved in anything. They're not exciting. They're not messy. They just trying literally to serve the people, but don't nobody respect that. We got to start looking at what we respect as people. But anywho, that's what I came on to tell y'all tonight. To the replay people, thank you for watching this video. Like, share, subscribe, super chat, cash app, do whatever you like. I'm going to try to continue to bring you these lives as long as I can. I enjoy doing them. I enjoy doing the research. But this platform has been attacked so many times. People are going to be in somebody's comments saying, she always playing the victim. I literally be up here reporting and telling the truth. Child, mind your business. Because how can you sit up and watch somebody you don't like for hours? Ugh. Anywho, he claimed he was not deleting people. One admin confirmed he went to Cornell to delete his detractors. Cornell said to me, contact John Kraft. I was banned, as have at least 52 others. Of course you was. Because Cornell a liar. They call him yellow journalism. Huh? Child. All these people working together. Got the black community out here looking crazy. They don't represent me. I don't claim them, honey. All kinfolk, all skin folk ain't kinfolk. I don't claim none of these people. Thank you, Diane. Good night. Child. And John Kraft, he with the shits. He's exploiting the Southland just like everyone else does. He's only there to get his paper and his self pushed forward by looking like a friend. He puts me in the mind of DJ Vlad. Just a culture cancer. Allegedly. He claims he's for freedom of speech, but he's allowing people to be deleted, in some cases deleting them himself. Okay with deleting the people, ignoring your messages because he's being told to ignore your messages, but then be getting in the comments talking about, I don't know any of this. I'm never in here. Liar, liar, pants on fire. Stuff don't even be making no sense. People be lying when the truth would do. Because, sir, if you ain't shit, just say you ain't shit. So what you gonna do? What we gonna do? Nothing. Ain't nothing we can do. Because you're not gonna listen. But it should show people who you really are. What you really about. Yeah, stop trusting these people that be coming into the community acting like they helping. They want to help. They just came out of nowhere. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Child, I could do a story on just that. I ain't got time though. I gotta help y'all unpack and do all of this. We need to look up these people and make sure we know who we voting for. But anyway, that is exactly what he sent to me verbatim. Okay, child. And you didn't tell me what he sent you. Now, did you? Nope. Cornell Darden is behind the Southland Journal. It's on my page, Paris. If you go look at the video where you'll see Cornell Darden on a couple of videos with the Tinley Park mayor. Go and look at them videos. I did one just on him specifically. Go look at him. Go look at them videos. Oh my God. Child, part of me is exhausted from this mess. Part of me is embarrassed that we are participating in this mess. But anyway, I'll see you guys. Just make sure your notifications on. Like, share, and subscribe again. I'll say it again. Like, share, and subscribe. Thank all of you for tuning in. The people who love me, the people who like me, and the people who hate me. Thank you for tuning in. Okay, Paris, listen. That's all I can do. That's all I want to do. God's showing up big. I promise you. I wish I could tell you something, but God is showing up big. And he doing this big one for your girl because, baby, I'm in my prayer closet about some of these people because I'm just tired. And God finna do something about them, period. That's all I got to say right now. Good night, Dave Bryson. Thank you for tuning in. Get some rest, sir. All right. I'll see you guys. Make sure your notifications are on. You never know when I might pop up. Thank you for being up with me tonight. I'm going to be up for probably another hour getting researching some stuff. Okay? Oh, wait. Before y'all go, I got a new song. Do y'all want to hear it? We finna get in trouble with this song. Y'all let me know if y'all want to hear some new music that I wrote. We're gonna get in trouble for it, but I'm okay with it. I'm okay. I'll take the hit because I ain't gonna respond right now because I'm busy. But let me know if you want to hear the new song. Wait. I'm gonna play the new song on the way out. Y'all want to hear it? I wrote it. I'm gonna play it. Y'all want me to play it? Tell me what y'all want me to do. If y'all want me to play it, I'm gonna play it. How can we help Jesse? Jesse has, if you go to the video that I made about him, that QR code goes to his campaign and you can donate there. Okay, let me get this song. We're gonna get in trouble for it. I'm telling you right now. But I'm gonna take the hit and I'm not gonna respond because I can't right now. I'm busy. But here go the new music. This is hilarious. I wrote this. When people get on my nerves, I write diss tracks. This is my diss track.
You see, where do we start? Yeah, let's talk about it. Let's define it to play. Come on. Since that's the only thing out of your mouth. 84 is a person who publicly supports. Say that. Or it comes as a particular cause. If you're the 80, if you can, then what is it cause? To buy yourself a restaurant in front of new home. But if the people will listen, they listen up. Will know your mind gone. Have you ever felt like you were drowning? Talk. Everything tomorrow surrounding. Still moving. Your brain now get it proud. Disconnect. But then again, what do we expect? What you expect? The body never learned to survive without it. Brain to direct. Come on. One thing you had right that I would never expect. Real talk. You about working your mouth to gain respect. Run it up. What lacking the intellect? To challenge someone direct. Say that. I spoke the truth. You manipulate the proof. Yeah. So the nigga ready for favor. You spin the story, huh? I see now why your voice is so loud. Too loud. Trying to be heard in the middle of a crowd. Attention seeker. Instead of going to sit down. Sit down. You said back in the day you was a pastor. Oh, really? But today you choosing to create disasters. Chaos, maker. Creating false hope through a stream. And false faith in a pipe dream. I understand, now I got confused as the sheep. We follow, cause we easily led by false prophets with big heads. We should study instead and with own eyes be headless. You don't have passion for the people, no love. No. You have a passion for performance. Stage, spirit, a fusion righteous people from Jarman. To the good and time is to transforming. Now look at you traveling around. While everyone you kinda telling you to pipe down. Pipe down, pipe down, right now. Right now. Tell your little quarter, turn your mic down. Turn it down. Pipe down, right now. Yeah. Tell your little quarter, turn your mic down, down. For a minute, let's address your call. Let's talk about it. The ones who sit by while you stay silent. Trash, hellish, and bad. Crazy. Where our professing God is an assault. On the book that he wrote. Bible. I wanna say congratulations to your congregation, the Saints Nation. Be good to be born again, it's too heavy out of navigation. Righteous anger for the behavior, the son of Satan and speak. Coach, you should be worrying about being found. And when it's all said and done, will you be wearing a crown? What crown? So pipe down, right now. Right now. Tell your little quarter, turn your mic down. Turn it down. Pipe down, right now. Woo. Tell your little quarter, turn your mic down. Turn it down. Right now. Turn it down. Pipe down, right now. Right now. Tell your little quarter, turn your mic down. Turn it down. Pipe down, right now. Woo. Tell your little quarter, turn your mic down. Turn it down. Right now.
Okay, y'all. We're going to take a hit for it, but it'll be all right. I will see you guys. Keep your notifications on. You never know when I might pop up. It was good talking with you all tonight. Thank you for working through this with me. We'll have the full story on Friday night. It'll be late, but we'll have it. Okay? Thank you guys for tuning in. I will see you guys later.
I hope you wake up and your dog lick your makeup. I hope you get ready for work and you can't find your shirt. I hope you go on a date and your man space with no place for excuses. I hope he jump deuces. I hope all your plans fail with no money for bail and you end up in jail, but you live to tell. Where your space is invaded.